a plastic cup with someone to show me some love and tell me that I am good enough. And for now, all that's filled me up, still and tossed away like a plastic cup. And still I'm tossed away like a plastic cup. It's for your promotions. There's something inside of me, and I know it's more than just a brain. Someone to show me some love and tell me that I am good enough. And for now, all that's filled me up, still I'm tossed away like a plastic cup. I know you feel like a piece of trash, thrown away and forgotten, but please don't let go, 'cause to me, you're treasure. Your smile so deceptive that it almost looks real. Well, it must be hard to fake what you do not really feel. You're hiding, I know it. Tell me what's on your mind. I only wish to help. Won't you let me back inside? Say that it's over. Tell me the truth just one last time. I promise I'll help you. If only you'll let me back inside. Let me inside. Your face shows no reaction when I call out your name. Your presence like a ghost. You seem so far away, and you know that I love you, but the words seem to have died. I just want this to end. Please let me back inside. Say that it's over. Tell me the truth just one last time. I promise I'll help you. If only you'll let me back inside. Let me inside. Don't drift your eyes. Just look at me when I look at you, because you must realize you're barely holding on, and I'm holding tight. Would you just please try? Don't give in. You have to fight. Why won't you hear my cry? I don't wanna say goodbye. Say that it's over. Tell me the truth just one last time. I promise I'll help you. If only you'll let me back inside. Say that it's over. Tell me the truth just one last staring at my own reflection through shattered bits of glass, showing me the perfect picture of who I really am. But when you look at me, you never turn away, kneeling next to me and picking up the pieces. Why do you care? I know I'm undeserving of the love that you have chosen to share. It's just not fair. I am such a useless failure, falling to the ground. Every effort that I muster is never good enough. But when you look at me, standing next to me and holding out your hand, why do you care? I know I'm undeserving of the love that you have chosen to share. It's just not fair. If I take just one moment away from my self-loathing, then maybe I would notice that I'm not meant to be broken. If I take just one moment away from my self-loathing, then
Well, good evening, folks, or good morning, good afternoon, good night, whatever time it is, wherever you are in the world. Quincy Kane here, and this is live stream number 193. You can hear the confidence as I say that. It might be 194. Let me double check here. No, I was right. I'm always right, but I always doubt myself. Maybe that's a lesson I need to learn. Maybe sometimes I got to believe in myself more, because maybe I'm right and I just For some reason, time and time again, even though I prove myself right, I keep thinking I might be wrong this time. I might have it mixed up, you know. Maybe there's a lesson for someone out there watching as well. But either way, it is stream number 193. And for this stream, I'm letting you, the viewer, choose my set list. So you can find my songs in the description on YouTube. And whichever song of mine you would like me to play, simply let your request be made known. Just type it into the chat, and I will play that song just for you. Or if you'd like to dedicate a song to somebody, you're welcome to do that as well. And I feel like there's one other thing I was going to say. Oh, if you're not super familiar with my catalog of music, no worries. Just pick a title that sounds kind of interesting, and I'll play it for you, and we'll find out if you like it or not. Let's catch up with the chat. We got a few people here. We got Jack. Jack, I hope your heel feels better soon, but I'm glad you got to spend some time with family, so it sounds like you had a pretty good week all in all. Becky and Silas, appreciate all of you tuning in. Hope you're doing well. Let's see here. Yeah, we got some hellos happening, some hearts in the chat. Let's see. We've got a request from Jack for a mirror that was broken. Awesome, Jack. That'll be coming your way in just a bit here. Silas, I'm doing well. How are you doing, Silas? Anything fun or eventful happened lately? Did you have any races recently or not for a while? Just been kind of training for the next one. And I know you had some plans for a potential band practice. Did that end up working out, or you have to give me an update on what things are going on your end? And then Becky asking, Quincy, I hope your aunt is recovering after her dog attack. She actually had a surgery today, and it sounds like it went well. Did have to have surgery on her knee, but she's doing well. She's not super mobile right now, but she's actually going to be staying at our place tonight. So my mom has prepared a place for her, and she's going to be coming in and staying with us. She may be over at her house right now, if I understand correctly. So she'll be staying for a few nights, but she seems to be in good spirits. Like, even though all this has happened, she's still very, very lively and very optimistic about everything. But thankfully, everything seemed to go okay, and we're just praying for a speedy recovery and that she continues to do well. So definitely continue praying for her, but thank you for asking, and thank you for your thoughts and prayers. Thank you. Yeah, Silas saying, how are you, Quincy? Great to see you. Well, thanks. I'm doing pretty good. It's been a good week. Some exciting news you guys should know. I've been looking for a car, and I got a car last week. I got a car on Saturday, so I'm very thankful for that. Again, it's been a bit of a process. Let's see here. Where do I even start? You know, I was just trying to find something. I wanted to get something from a private owner, just a really simple, hey, here's a vehicle that'll get me from point A to point B. Let's make the exchange and be on our way, you know, that kind of thing. My brother-in-law is a mechanic, which is a double-edged sword. It's nice because he gives you the confidence that you're buying something worthwhile, but he also is very strict. You know, you'll pick something and be like, hey, what do you think of this? And he'll say, oh, it's overpriced, or I wouldn't trust that. And it's probably, it's good, but it does kind of test you after a while. After a while, you're like, all right, I don't really care if it's a little overpriced. I really just want to buy something. I just want to be done with this. You know, money's not the only expense. It's not the only expense. There's also time, and there's also energy. And I value time and energy much more than I do money. You can always get more money. You can't get more time. You can't get more energy always. So either way, he found something, and I contacted the seller. It was a lady and her husband, and I think they're a young family. I think they've got, I thought they maybe had 2 children, or maybe they have 1 and they have another on the way, but I think they're growing their family, and so they were needing to upgrade to a bigger vehicle. So they were selling a Ford Focus Titanium from 2012, and it's a hatchback Ford Focus. It's white and kind of has a little bit of a sporty look to it, and it's kind of a higher grade model than just a regular Ford Focus, because one of my brothers actually has, I think, a Ford Focus from the same year, but it's kind of a lower end model, and it's a good car. It's a solid car, but definitely no fancy bells and whistles about it. It's just a very straightforward kind of vehicle. This one, I think it's got pleather interior. I don't think it's legit leather, but it's still very nice. You know, it's not the fabric material. and it's actually got a push starter, which is kind of cool. So it's got more, like, you have to remember, I'm coming from a 98 Jeep Cherokee. So I'm coming from some pretty old technology. Now I've got a vehicle that's got a touch screen and has a push starter, and it drives good. It feels good. I kind of like it because it's got enough space for my gear and stuff that I need, but it's not like too oversized. It's kind of compact. I like that a little bit more. So yeah, I'm definitely glad about it. Let's see here. Let me catch up with the chat. So that's probably the biggest thing that's happened. I got a new vehicle. It's really nice having that mostly behind me. There's still a few things to take care of. I've got it registered and stuff, so all that's great. But I do, there's a few little things I might get tweaked with it and stuff. And then I still got to get rid of my old Jeep. I think I'm going to try to sell that because I think there's people who enjoy restoring those kind of vehicles and that kind of thing. Let's see, catching up with the chat here. Sorry you weren't able to sleep last night, Becky. I hope you get some better rest tonight. I have a race on Saturday, and I'm going to ask the guys if they can play this weekend. Well, awesome. Well, I hope that goes well. Glad to hear it, Quincy. Thank you, Becky. Prayers for your aunt, Quincy, and for your success, Silas. Much appreciated, Jack. Hey, we got Hannah in the chat. Some of you might know Hannah. Hannah and Becky, I don't know if the two of you have met before, but Hannah, I appreciate you tuning in. I'm going to catch up with you in just a moment here. Awesome. If you have enough money, you could buy a time machine, though. That's true, but that's kind of what I was saying, though. You can't get more time. You can always get I was saying you can get more money. So, but yes, if you did have enough money, you could get a time machine once they invent them. But don't think those have come out yet. Good, thanks, Jack. Haven't had any problems lately. I can't stay too long, but figured I'd pop in. Well, hey, even if you just stop in just to say hello, Hannah, appreciate you. Give everyone a little update, how you've been, what you're doing, and what you've been working on lately. I think you had told me, we were discussing on Discord a little bit, I think you're writing a book. Is that right? Did you say you were writing a book? And then I think you're hoping to work on an album at some point. So I hope those go well. I hope your projects go well, and definitely excited. When you finish them up, come back here, let us know. We'll have to check them out. Can't believe how much time has passed since I put out my first video with my first original song. Yeah, time goes by fast, and especially as you put out projects, as you put out songs or videos or whatever it might be, they're like little snapshots of that time period. And a lot of time passes, and you're like, wow, I thought I just put that out, and it was a year ago. So it's pretty crazy how that happens. But they're kind of a nice record of your progress, too. Like, as you start putting out new stuff, you can start comparing your newer videos to your older ones and see your progress, see how much you grow over that time. I got hot dogs from Little. Is that what it is? I don't know how you pronounce that. Lidl. Because it's Oktoberfest, and when Daniel gets here, I'm going to want hot dogs. Yeah, that sounds about right. Hot dogs sound like the right call for the menu. I'll never forget the great encouragement and support you gave me when I did that, Quincy. Well, my pleasure, Silas, and absolutely. If, whatever you're working on, I always want to be a source of encouragement, and I think life is such a precious gift, so definitely all of you, whatever you're dreaming, whatever you're wanting to work towards, you should aspire towards it. You've got no reason not to do it. The only thing that's going to keep you doing it is being afraid, and fear just robs you from the joy that you can have. So don't be afraid. Hannah saying, yeah, I'm working on a new book, also working on a debut album. I have a couple posts teasing the book on my other socials, but the album is more of a spontaneous project. Hoping to have something soon. Well, awesome. Definitely excited for you and your project endeavors. If you've got time, you're certainly welcome to make a song request, and I'll play something for you. So let me know. I might have a few songs that you haven't heard yet. I don't know if you've been keeping up with some of the songs I've released, but I definitely have some new ones. We've got a request from Jack. Jack, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Jack requested my song, A Mirror That Was Broken, so I'm going to play that. And for anyone else watching, if you've got a song request, you can find my songs in the description here on YouTube. And whichever song of mine you'd like me to play, just type it in the chat, and I'll play that song just for you. So as soon as we get the confirmation from Jack, this one will go out to him. Here's a courtesy reminder for all of you to stay hydrated. There we go. Thumbs up from Jack. Just got to eat right now, or real quick. Nice to see you all. Well, enjoy your meal. Like you say, farewell to fear. That's right. That's the whole point of that song, Silas. Yep, just to not let fear keep you from going after whatever's calling you in life. All right. Jack, this one goes out to you. This is a mirror that was broken. Hope you like it.
And so I live happily ever after, or so I thought, until she told me it was over. A broken heart has a way of putting life on hold. But when I stop to think, I never seem to find an answer. And I am falling apart now for all I know. Everything's changing and I must let go. But I keep reflecting on better days and wondering if life will ever be the same. Scraping up the pieces, cutting up my hands, looking for myself and a mirror that is broken. I said goodbye, never saw my friends again, and took some time to see if I could make things clear. It's a lonely drive when there's no one in the passenger seat, and I'll catch myself often glancing in the rearview mirror, 'cause I am falling apart now for all I know. Everything's changing and I must let go. But I keep reflecting on better days and wondering if life will ever be the same. Scraping up the pieces, cutting up my hands, looking for myself and a mirror that is broken. Every single tear, there's a lesson to be learned. With every single scar, there's a treasure to be earned. But I'll never find healing if I'm holding on to hurt. I'll never see heaven if I'm face down in the dirt. With every single tear, there's a lesson to be learned. With every single scar, there's a treasure to be earned. But I'll never find healing if I'm holding on to hurt. So I'm letting go, 'cause I am falling apart now for all I know. Caught a glimpse of myself before I let him go. I'm looking ahead now to better days and wondering what life has got in store for me. I'm falling apart now for all I know. Just fragments of memories from long ago. But those days are over, so I'll move on. I know that the best is yet to come. Displaying all the pieces, showing you I am formed a masterpiece. From a mirror that was broken. From a mirror that was broken.
There we go. That was a mirror that was broken. That was requested by Jack. Jack, thank you for your request. I hope you enjoyed the song. For anyone else just tuning in, don't be shy. Say hello. And if you would like to make a request, feel free to do so. Again, you can find my songs in the description here on YouTube. And whichever song of mine you'd like me to play, just go ahead and type it in the chat, and I'll play that song just for you. Or if you'd like to dedicate it to somebody, that's quite all right as well. So far, we've only played a mirror that was broken. I don't mind replaying songs, but it is nice to shuffle it up. Plenty others to choose from. All right, let's catch back up with the chat. Anyone do anything fun or eventful lately? Anyone see any good movies? I've watched a few movies lately, but if you've watched something good, let me know. We are, can you believe we're in October? Man, we are in the final quarter of the year. So just remember, the year's not over yet. We are in the final final quarter. We're in the home stretch, you know, but there's still plenty to get done. There's still plenty you can accomplish, plenty of time to make things happen. So don't let that be discouraging. If anything, it's something to be excited about. We've got another quarter, fresh start of this quarter, and whatever plans, whatever last bit plans you want to try to get done before the year is over and the new year starts, definitely go for it. With October coming, October is a favorite of mine, and we'll see. You know, I might try to make an effort to watch a few more Halloween-esque movies. So that might be, you know, some of them might be scary movies, and some of them might just be kind of adventurous, seasonal movies, you know, kind of fun stuff. There's a lot of nostalgia stuff that I grew up with. So things like Casper or Goosebumps, you know, they're not horror movies, they're not scary, but they're just feel good, nostalgic Halloween season kind of stuff. So I'm probably gonna dive into a little bit of that as this month continues on. John Ramos, appreciate you tuning in. Hope you're doing well. Let me know how your week's been. Anything fun or eventful happened lately? Appreciate you tuning in. I was going to request Pull the Trigger for when Leo and Fab get here. They haven't heard it live yet. Well, that sounds good. So we'll kind of wait for a few people to show up, and Becky, I can do Pull the Trigger for you. Let's see here. Thank you for the fire and the 100. Much appreciated. Thank you for the applause, Jack. Yeah, thank you very kindly. I kind of regret watching that new Andrew Lincoln show. It was messed up, and the vicar's husband murdered the cat. I don't know that I'd seen that. Andrew Lincoln, is that what it's called? I'm seeing if it pops up. I see an actor named Andrew Lincoln. Is he the one in the show? Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know if I'm familiar with what show you're referencing. Whoops. Okay. That was great, Quincy. Well, thank you, Becky. Much appreciated. I appreciate that. We got a request for Hard Goodbyes. Silas, that'll be coming your way in just a moment here. I rewatched Tombstone for the first time since we lost Val. Cried at the end. Tombstone is probably my favorite Western. And yeah, Val Kilmer is excellent in that. He's such a, I don't know, he did give such a good performance in that movie. But I love it. Tombstone's a favorite of mine. I think shortly after he had passed, my brothers and I, we got together and watched it. We had a little pizza night. We went to, we got together and ordered some pizza. I think had some maybe wings and some soda and that kind of thing, and just sat on the couch and watched Tombstone together. But that's a good one. That's probably my favorite Western. I was going to watch a horror movie every night this month, but I already failed. It's okay if you failed. It's only night number 2, so you can pick back up. 30 out of 31 is not bad. If you get 30 out of 31 nights, that's pretty good. I say it's just for the fun of it. You know, if you've got the, I'll share my list with you real quick. I've actually got a list. I used to do a little more for Halloween. Like this was the month October. I would do all kinds of stuff, and I need to find more friends. So that's all that's happened. That's all that's really changed. I still do a few things for myself, but it's not as fun dressing up when you got no one to dress up for or with. I love Halloween. I love dressing up and that kind of thing, but it's not as fun on our own. I might try to dress up. I don't even know. I'll have to look ahead and see. Let's see. I'll look at the calendar real quick. Halloween is on a Friday, so I technically, I think I'll have streams all this month. There would be a stream on the 30th, and that'd be the day before Halloween. So I might dress up for that if I can. We'll see. But it takes a lot of energy to put into a costume for one night. So it's kind of nice. Back in the day, you'd have friends, and we had a fun. We'd have a little like dance party in the barn. We'd have the barn set up, and we'd have lights, and we'd have soda and snacks and pizza, and we'd play music and all be in our costumes, and we would do that kind of stuff. Or, we'd just go out and have fun. All right, I'm trying to find. Here we go. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes here. Okay, here's like a little tidbit. I haven't seen all of this, but here's kind of some of the stuff on my Halloween list, like some stuff to check out. For movies and shows, we got Goosebumps, particularly The Haunted Mask. Have you all seen the Haunted Mask episode? I think it's 2 parts, part 1 and part 2. But that's a must-watch, the Goosebumps Haunted Mask episode. That's a good one. Boy Meets World, the funny thing is, it actually wasn't a Halloween episode, but there's an episode called "And Then There Was Sean," and I don't think it played on Halloween. I think later, when they would replay it, they would play it around the Halloween season. But it's like a dream sequence. But the characters of Boy Meets World, they're locked in the school, and it's basically like a slasher film. But of course, it's got a comedic twist to it. But that's a fun one. I grew up with the Van Helsing movie. It's kind of funny because I think that movie maybe wasn't well regarded by some people, and I didn't understand why. I think I understand why now, because Van Helsing was kind of known, like the character of Van Helsing, he's actually a character in the story of Dracula. And this iteration of him, it kind of turned him into this action monster hunter kind of character, which I think is awesome. But I understand why people might have wanted an actual Van Helsing movie and not this revisioning of that character or something. So I get it. I can get why some people might not have enjoyed it. But me personally, I think that's just such a fun action adventure horror film. I love the Van Helsing movie. Casper is a special one to me. That one gets me in the feels. Saw is probably my favorite actual scary movie, and I'm curious to watch the second one and the 6th one. I've heard those are pretty good also. I don't really like too many of the sequels because they kind of focus more on just the torture devices, but those are some that I might try to... I've seen the second one before, but I might give it a rewatch. I remember that one having a good plot twist. There's a movie called Dead Silence. Have you all seen that with the ventriloquist dummies? That's a good one. That one's just a good, like, spooky, like, creepy one, a good ghost story. There's Trick or Treat. That one's pretty good. Don't Breathe. That's a good scary movie. Sweeney Todd, which is more of a musical, but the Tim Burton musical, it definitely has kind of a Halloween vibe to it. Sleepy Hollow is pretty good. Halloween Town, again, that's a blast from the past. Anyone see Halloween Town? Grew up with that as a kid. Got a few other ones here. Those are kind of the main ones. And then I've got some that I haven't really watched and I want to rewatch or revisit. I've got like a list of scary movies here. So some of these I've probably seen since I made this list. I think I'm going to try to watch the original Halloween movie, but I'm kind of on the fence because I know it was one of the first slasher films. And so part of me is wondering if it was really good for the time, but I don't know if it still holds up or not. Jack, maybe you can comment on that, what you think of the first Halloween movie. He's the actor. Gotcha. We're talking about Andrew Lincoln. The show is called Cold Water. Gotcha. Sorry, I got to scroll back up a little bit. I was behind. Can't believe we're in the final corner. Definitely need to make the most of every moment. Absolutely. I watched Clown in a Cornfield, definitely comedic horror. I think I'd heard of that. I can't remember what I heard about it, but I do recall that movie coming out. and I think I recall it being maybe comedic horror. What's everybody's favorite Goosebumps episode or book? I got to go with The Haunted Mask. And I don't know if you ever read, there was a Horrorland book that was a lot of fun. And there were some Goosebumps books. Did you ever read the ones that were choose your own adventure? Like you would turn pages and then you get a choice and it tells you what page to turn to. And depending where you go, like you get a different outcome. Those were really fun books. I loved those. My favorite thing about the Goosebumps books, I remember our old library, it was almost appropriate. It was like there was this corner in the back of the library and it had like this, it was like dimly lit with the fluorescent lights, so it had this very kind of creepy atmosphere. That's where the Goosebumps books were. It was like totally perfect for it. And I loved going back there and just running my fingers across the bumps on the title and just looking at the pictures. Most of the time, like I wouldn't even read the books. I'd just look at the pictures on the front. But later, eventually, I got around to reading them. But when I was really young, I just enjoyed looking at the covers. Yep, same actor that plays Rick Grimes. I was seeing that as I was looking him up. It's a British show. Have you... talking to Silas there. When I was a kid, about 5 years in a row, my Halloween plans went wrong. Now all I ever do is eat candy and watch horror movies. That's cool, Quincy. I always wished I lived on a farm. It has its ups and downs. I'd say I mostly enjoy it. I enjoy it just because I live there. I don't really mess with the animals too much. If I ever had my own place, I think the only animals I would want would be chickens because I like eggs. And chickens, they kind of like just mind their own business. Like you do have to make sure they make it in the coop at night and lock them up so that they're safe. And then you got to let them out in the morning. But other than that, they're pretty low maintenance. And they're not really pets, you know. They're just animals. They just kind of hang out. I'm not really a big pet fan, but I don't mind chickens. So if I had to have animals, it'd probably be chickens. Yep, seen that one. My favorite as well as Welcome to Dead House. Yeah, that's a good one too. I'll probably watch a few Goosebumps episodes. Still rewatching Stranger Things. Have they finished Stranger Things yet? Yeah, Becky wanting to rewatch it, but doesn't have Netflix. I hadn't started it, and again, mostly because it isn't done yet. And even when it is done, I'm kind of on the fence because it's been going on for a while, and at this point, it just feels like a chore to watch anything that's longer than 3 seasons. But that's just me. All right, we'll get into some more music in a second here. Ginger Snaps, my favorite horror movie. I'll take note of it. Ginger Snaps. Becky's favorite. Okay, I'll take note of that. I got to see The Substance. The Substance, if I recall, that's kind of like body horror a little bit, isn't it? If I remember. Or am I getting that confused with something else? I don't think so. I heard it was good, but it might be a little bit of a gross out. I could be wrong about that. I could be getting that mixed up with something else. Halloween is great. Classic atmosphere horror. Cool. I'll give it a shot. I don't think I had any of the Choose Your Own Adventures books. I had a lot of books, though. Hey, A.G. Perry, appreciate you tuning in. Bro, hey, Quincy, how you doing? Could you sing Hurt? I love that one. I can sing it. I don't know if I have it on the list. Usually I do it acoustically, but I can play it for you. I've got a request. We'll get back into some music here. Let me play Silas's song first, and then I'll play Hurt for you. We were getting caught up. We were talking about scary movies, with it being Halloween and the Halloween season. AG, are you a fan of any scary movies? Or, yes, no, anything like that? You fan of Halloween? Jack actually prefers Ginger Snaps too. Lots of Canadian horror movies. Let's see here. I guess there's some biblical themes, it sounds like. The final season premieres on November 26th. Gotcha. Haven't seen the sequel in forever. So I'll keep that in mind. Yeah. I will say, usually when it comes to horror movies, I definitely enjoy, like, I like rooting for the characters, you know? Like, I want to care about them, and I want to see them in peril and striving to get out alive, you know? That's what I enjoy seeing. Definitely don't really enjoy seeing dumb characters getting themselves killed, or a bunch of unlikable characters in a situation that, and just bringing about unnecessary. So, like, I love when the movie's right, like, I love it, but I can be a little particular about what I like in my horror movies. And I'm a big fan of atmosphere, though. I will say that. Again, even movies like Dead Silence or Trick or Treat or anything like that, like, if it just has kind of that nice kind of creepy, you know, haunted night kind of vibe, like ghost story night kind of vibe, I do sort of enjoy that. All right, cool. There's probably other movies we could talk about, but let's get back into some music. Silas, give me a thumbs up if you are out there. Silas had made a request for Hard Goodbyes. Oh, I was like, I wasn't sure how Ginger Snaps had biblical themes, but I'm like, that's surprising. But yes, Hurt does have biblical themes. Yes, you are correct about that. Is also Bottle Horror. It's a werewolf movie. Gotcha. Well, I do like werewolves. All right. Yep, Hurt. Yep, we'll get to Hurt in just a second here, and then Silas, give me a thumbs up. This one's instrumental, but this one is called Hard Goodbyes. I'm going to play this one next. Let me see if I can get the backing track set up. There we go. All right, just want to make sure. There are certain movies or shows like A Quiet Place, I Am Legend, or Stranger Things that have some scary elements, but the bigger appeal is the characters and the awesome story with them. Yeah, I agree with that. I enjoy all those. I like A Quiet Place. I like I Am Legend, and I haven't seen Stranger Things, but yes, I like, again, I kind of think of the kind of horror I like is almost like a really intense version of action-adventure. Action-adventure is my favorite genre, and if you keep pushing the intensity of that, eventually you get to horror. Eventually you get where the action and the adventure is so perilous and so frightening that you're on the verge of horror. But it's still technically action-adventure. It's just a really intense action-adventure. So that's kind of what I enjoy. It's characters that you like, and they're in a circumstance that is just thrilling, you know, puts you on the edge of your seat. All right. Silas, this one goes out to you. Again, this one is an instrumental. I might take a little gander at the guitar solo because it's been a while since I've played it. This one's got a fun solo, but it is kind of tricky if I haven't practiced it in a while. It's a little sloppy. We'll give it a shot. Silas, this one goes out to you. This is Hard Goodbyes. Thank you. Again, that one is called Hard Goodbyes. And that was requested by Silas. Silas, thank you for your request. I hope you enjoyed the song. In a moment here, I'm going to play Hurt. We'll get to that, but we're going to catch up with the chat real quick. So, let's see here. Yep. Oh, just a little bit of chatting happening. So glad you requested that one. Only heard it on acoustic streams. I don't have a backing track for it, so I mean, if I do it, I'm just going to have to do it with the electric guitar. So, but hopefully you all still enjoy it. It'll be kind of a different, slightly different iteration of it. Action and adventure is my favorite too. Yep, absolutely. Solo reminds me of Van Halen. Can somebody open my jar of sauerkraut for me? I want my hot dogs. If I was there, if you could physically hand me the jar of sauerkraut through the screen, I would absolutely open it for you. But unfortunately, we don't have that technology yet. Maybe someday we'll get to that point. All I can recommend is if you can find something to grip it with, you know, some kind of rubber handle of some sort. I don't know if maybe that would help. Yeah, not really sure. But something to get a better grip on it, or more leverage or something. Love it. I'm glad to hear that, Silas. Thank you for the applause, Jack. Thank you for the fire, Becky. The instruments all sound awesome on it. Well, thank you, Silas. Good stuff. Jack, not a fan of sauerkraut. Yeah. I'm not sure if I like it or not. I certainly don't eat it regularly. The fact that I have to look up what it is sounds like something my mom would like. I'm pretty sure I've had that before. I'm not going to say I love it, but I'd have to try it again to see how I feel about it. It's not for everybody, Jack. All right. Well, we'll give this one a shot. We'll give Hurt a shot. But if anyone, if you've got any plans for Halloween or October, any upcoming plans, let me know what you guys have planned. Let me know if there's anything you're excited about. If you're going to be dressing up, let me know if you're going to be dressing up for it or not. And if you are dressing up, do you already know what you're going to be, or are you still having to figure that out? I haven't thought at all. I actually don't even know if I'm going to dress up or not. I don't know if I have a reason to dress up. I might dress up for one of these streams. But even then, I'm kind of on the fence of, like, am I just going to find an old costume I've done before and wear it, or am I going to try to do something new? We'll see. All right, so for this song, I've got a tune to standard. And I'm going to need the capo, and I might be able to do the crunch. That would probably work. But I'm going to capo because my guitar is tuned down a little bit lower. So... All right, we'll give it a shot. Shouldn't be too challenging to do, but A.G. Perry, give me a thumbs up if you're ready for it, and I'll go ahead and play Hurt for you. It's kind of like fermented cabbage. Okay, interesting. I really appreciate it, brother. My pleasure. All right. This one goes out to you. I hope you enjoy it. This one is Hurt. Actually, I'm going to do one last thing. I don't know what you guys are listening through, but my guitar is actually panned to the right and that's because when I play with my backing tracks, I have another guitar panned to the left. But since I'm going to play this by myself, let me pan my guitar into the middle, so that way it's not lopsided. That way, if you're wearing headphones, you'll notice the guitar's in the center now. It's not off to one side. All right, here we go.
If I hurt myself, I'll have to bleed. At least I am alive. It's hard to move, hard to breathe, hard to keep on living. What is the purpose? Show me a sign. And there must be more to this life. If I hurt myself, maybe I'll learn not to be so naive. A broken heart, a stupid choice, and that's left me feeling empty. What is the purpose? Show me a sign. There must be more to this life. Don't hurt yourself, I'll bleed for you. The blood I spill for you. I say to your eyes, you are my child. You're in my arms. I'll never leave you, because you are mine. I'll fix your heart and show you the light. There's so much more to this life.
All right, there we go. That is Hurt, requested by A.G. Perry. A.G., I hope you enjoyed the song. Thank you for your request. All right, if anyone else would like to make a song request, again, you can find my songs in the description here on YouTube. So far, we've done A Mirror That Was Broken. We did Hard Goodbyes, and we just did Hurt. So whichever song you'd like to hear, you can find them in the description, or if you'd like to dedicate a song to someone, that is a possibility as well. We're going to catch up with the chat. We do have a request from Becky for Pull the Trigger, but she was hoping that a few others would be here to hear that one. So we might wait a little while before we jump right into that one. All right, catching up with the chat. Jack was saying my grandmother made sauerkraut with with wiener dish that even she told me to stop eating. I was trying to make her happy, and even she found it inedible. Yep, sometimes there's a history with a certain kind of food, and it just sort of leaves an impression on you. I'd probably enjoy it, Jack, but then again, I'm British. Yeah, y'all eat Marmite. Here's our highlighted lyric. Don't hurt yourself. I'll bleed for you. The blood I spilled for you. Yep, it's a reference to Jesus and taking the hurt for us. Sometimes life can hurt, and thankfully, he knows what that's like. We don't have a savior who can't sympathize with the hurt that we've gone through, because he's been through very similar hurt, if not worse than what many of us experience in life. And so he can sympathize with that, and he understands, and he loves us all the same, and was willing to do that. So, yep, that's what that song is referring to. Thank you for the applause. Thank you, AG. Might be better in the electric guitar. So good. Well, thanks. I'm glad you liked the electric version of it. Wasn't quite sure how it would come out, but I had a feeling it might work out okay. What song do you think you might work on after Pull the Trigger? I think it's going to be Poison. It's going to be close, but I think I can squeeze in one more song release before the year ends. Pull the Trigger's coming along well. I will say the editing process for the vocals, I got the vocals recorded, but I think I just overdo it sometimes. I think sometimes I get too many vocal takes and too many background layers, and it hurts me later. Like in the moment, it's fine, but then later when I have to go through all the tracks and I have to edit them and I have to pick the best ones, it takes quite some time. And I also don't enjoy that part. I love the music creation process, but editing vocals, that's frustrating. You know, so lately I'm kind of like, why am I doing this? But once I get through that, it shouldn't take too much longer to finish producing the song and actually have it ready to release. So I think I can still get it out in time. Should be coming out in the next couple weeks or so. But that's been a process, getting the vocals edited. So that's Pull the Trigger. And then once this one's done, I think I've got enough time that I can do one more song, and it's probably going to be Poison. Poison, I've pretty much got the full arrangement. I still have to finish the lyrics for that one, and there's still quite a bit to do, but I think if I take the time to play with it and mess with it, I think I can get it written and come up with an arrangement that I can produce and get out there before the year ends. So that's probably going to be the next one. The Broken Wings song, maybe. That one probably on the list, but I don't think it's going to be the next one. You are right that one kind of has... It's definitely up there. Like, it's definitely up there as one of the next ones to probably come. What's that song called again? If you're asking about the Broken Wings one, well, it's not actually finished, so I don't have a lyrics, but it's probably going to be called Broken Wings. I have a feeling that song is going to be called Broken Wings, but again, the lyrics aren't actually done for that one yet, so I don't know for sure. Yeah, I love the sound of that one. So, Becky, looking forward to it? Awesome. I'm sure excited. Well, great. Well, I'm glad you guys are looking forward to it. Yep, so hopefully in the next couple weeks, Pull the Trigger will be coming out. And before the year ends, hoping to have one more release for you all, and that one's going to be Poison. I was in a film class. Vocals definitely proved to be difficult. Yeah, for me, the biggest... the trickiest thing is that when I record vocals, so I actually, again, I do these live streams at my church because no one's here right now, so I can be loud. And a lot of times I come to the church to do projects like that. So when I'm recording vocals, I actually come here, and there's a closet, and I'll set up my gear. So that's probably the hard part is I've got to pack up my gear, bring it to the church, which isn't far. It's only 3 minutes away. But I got to bring it to the church, get it all set up, and then I've got to record vocals. And I really like to get it done that day, because if I don't get it done, then I have to come back and finish another day. So I'd rather get it all done in a single day. But I'm the one doing everything myself. I'm hitting record, and I'm singing, and then I have to listen back. And sometimes these headphones are deceptive. Like sometimes in the moment, it's really hard to tell if a take is good enough or not. So usually I'll try to make sure I get a few that I feel good about, and I usually make sure I have kind of a couple options to choose from. But I'm trying to get better about being very intentional. Like, here's a take I mean to do. I like the way it sounds. We're going to roll with it. But, you know, I'm trying not to get too many extra takes, especially when it comes to background vocals. For background vocals, I really try to just get the bare minimum of what I need. But again, the same thing. It's like I want to make sure it's good enough because once I'm done, I have to pack up, bring my gear home, but then I have to listen to it and make sure it's actually good enough. So I really can't wait for one day when I've got my own recording space, like for vocals. One day, one glorious day, when I've got a space at home and I know I can scream my head off and not worry about being heard. And all the gear is already set up. I don't have to pack it up and go somewhere. It's already set up. And it's like, all right, today we're going to record vocals. I just have to turn a few things on, just get my voice warmed up. And then I can sing and I can record. And I can just do a little bit at a time. I can just focus on the main vocals. And then I can edit them and be like, all right, we got those good. And then I can do the background vocals. Like, the process would be so much easier. And even if I woke up the next day and there was a line like, wow, that was way off key. You know, I need to get a better performance of that. It wouldn't be that big a deal to walk into my recording booth and just record him again, you know? So someday we'll get to that point. But yeah, vocals, that's kind of the biggest challenge of vocals is more so the setup that I have for doing them. Let's see. Oh, were you asking the title of the one I just played, Silas? That song was called Hurt. Let's see. Silas Lady C sang another Switchfoot song on her Tuesday night live stream. That's cool. Do you remember which Switchfoot song she sang? I think she's done some before. Hey, we got Daniel in the chat. Hey, Daniel. Good evening. Hope you're doing well. Let me know how your week's been. Anything fun or eventful coming up or happened lately? If you're having dinner, let me know what's on the menu. And if you'd like to make a song request, feel free to do so. Again, songs are in the description here on YouTube. Yeah, our teacher made us play it through speakers after we adjusted it with headphones on. Yeah, sometimes listening through different sources can kind of give a different perception. That's the only thing about these headphones. Like, I love them, but sometimes things tend to sound better in the headphones. Like, they'll sound good in the headphones, and then I'll get home and listen through my studio monitors and be like, that doesn't sound as good as they did in the headphones. So I kind of have to keep that in mind whenever I'm recording. So it kind of forces me to be a little more thorough than I'd prefer to be. All right. Well, if anyone's got a request, I might end up getting on to pull the trigger in just a moment here. So far, we've done A Mirror That Was Broken, we did Hard Goodbyes, and we did Hurt. But we've got plenty other songs. And let's see here. We've got a request for Pull the Trigger, but we were hoping maybe Leo, and who was the other one? Becky was hoping Leo and someone else would show up for that one. Which hopefully Leo's been doing well. To be honest, I actually haven't seen Leo in a little bit. It's been a while since he's tuned in. So I hope he's doing well. Leo, if you're out there, just know we love you. We care about you. And always appreciate when you tune in. Yeah, I'm trying to see. Oh, I don't know if John is still out there. I missed that. Waking Up is one of my favorites. I might not have realized you were talking about my song, Waking Up. So John, if you're still out there, let me know. John, give me a thumbs up and I can play Waking Up for you. Yeah, Leo and Fab, I think, is who Becky was waiting for. We got a request for Ascension. I can do that one for you. Let's see here. Had croissant rolls. Is that what that is? Crescent rolls or croissant rolls filled with scrambled eggs. They were good. That sounds yummy. Awesome. Well, Daniel, I'll go ahead and play Ascension for you. If any chance John is still out there, I realize now you had mentioned the song Waking Up. I can do that one for you. All right, good stuff. Let me get my backing track set up for Ascension. This one is another instrumental. All right, here we go. Daniel, I hope you like it. Actually, I got to get tuned real quick. And I got to pan my guitar back over to the right ear. There we go. Now we're ready to go. This is Ascension. Daniel, this one goes out to you, brother. delay. Right at the finish line there. There we go. Yeah, sometimes it'll skip out, and then I don't know if you guys hear it, but I get behind the track for some reason. I'm not sure why that is, but either way, we were close. You get the idea. Daniel, that one was requested by Daniel. That was Ascension, requested by Daniel. Daniel, thank you for your request. Hope you enjoyed the song. If anyone else would like to make a request, you can find my songs in the description on YouTube. Feel free to do so. Just pick a song, type it in the chat, and I will play that song just for you. Or you can dedicate it to someone if you'd like to. That's a possibility as well. So far, we've done A Mirror That Was Broken. We did Hard Goodbyes, Hurt, and that was Ascension that we just did there. And we're going to do Pull the Trigger in just a little bit here. All right, let's see. Catching up with the chat. Silas is working on a song called I See a Rainbow. Sounds like he's finishing up that one. Yep, good work, Silas. Yep, let us know when you post it. Thanks for the fire, Becky. Much appreciated. Nice one, Quincy. Bravo. Well, thank you, Silas. Much appreciated. This part is the best. Thank you, Becky. Glad you enjoyed it. Thank you for the emojis, everyone, and the applause. Awesome. Good job, Quincy. Well, thank you, Daniel. Much appreciated. Quincy, doing anything fun for your dad tomorrow? I'm actually surprised that you remembered it was his birthday tomorrow. I think we're celebrating his birthday on Sunday, so I don't think we have any initial plans for tomorrow, but usually on Sundays our family will get together. In general, we just get together after church and we'll have lunch. Not every Sunday, but oftentimes we'll do that. So if there's a birthday coming up, usually the Sunday closest to that birthday, we'll end up getting everyone together and celebrating. So as far as I understand, I'm not aware of any plans. Maybe we'll have a little bit of a special dinner tomorrow or something like that. But the real celebration is probably going to be with the family on Sunday at some point. Dad is, I think he's turning 68, which is crazy. He looks really good for his age, and he still moves really good. He's in pretty good health. But like he looks younger than he actually is. But it's just, man, it's just crazy. I think my mom is turning 60 this year. You wouldn't know it, but good gosh, that's like, it's such a big number. But you know, she could pass for 50. She's she's in very good health. Thank God. I've got to peace out, Quincy. So glad you're still making music. Hope you get your own studio. Keep rocking. Hey, I appreciate the support and the kind words. I hope you have a great rest of your week. Thanks for tuning in, and always know that you're welcome. I've always appreciate you tuning in, and thanks for your request. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a great rest of the week, man. Take care. Becky's saying, I hope Hannah comes back after dinner. I wanted to ask her if she's been to any Breaking Benjamin shows. Yeah, I don't know if she'd been to any before or recently. I'm pretty sure she's a bit of a fan of theirs. So I would have to, we'll see. We'll see if she ends up tuning back in. My dad's going to be 75 this year, 3/4 of a century. Yep, he's 3/4 of the way there. He's got one more quarter to go. I think I've told you guys I have a goal. I don't know if it's a goal or a plan to live to be 100 years old. It's not like I have to live to be 100, but it's kind of that sounds like a good number to die at, you know. It's like it's just a good round number, and I like I don't know, that's what I'm aiming for. So I'm going for it. I'm aiming for 100. That's the goal. And then once I get to 100, it's like, all right, I'm good. I'm ready to go. Yeah, I think I recall Hannah talking about them. Becky, I got to say, you've got a really good memory about people. That's a special thing. That's a good thing. Or it's at least something that I admire, because I don't have it as much. For some reason, like I really do appreciate people, but sometimes I don't always remember specific details about them, especially if it's been a while. Like maybe it's the way my brain works or something, where if I see someone frequently, they're on my mind more, and so I'm able to kind of remember more about them. But if it's someone I haven't seen in a while, then I'm like, it's like something in my mind is like scrambling to go through the files. Like, what do I know about this person? It's like trying to remember. And obviously there are certain things like I know Hannah. I've known her for a while. She would come in and watch a lot, and she's worked on some music projects herself. And there was even a little bit of talk of maybe collaborating on a project and that kind of thing, but it sort of fell through. I can't always be open to collaborations. There's sort of a certain amount that I'm like, sure, I might be able to help a little bit, but I can only help so much, just because I can't be everywhere all at once and doing everything. And so yeah, so I know, like, obviously I recognize her, but sometimes there's little details that I can get mixed up with other viewers and stuff. I'm just a freak with freakish memory. Well, I'd say that's a good thing. I'd say that's a helpful thing to have. Awesome stuff. Cool. Well, Becky, we might get into Pull the Trigger. Unless someone else, if someone else hasn't made a request yet and would like to, feel free to do so. But might end up getting into Becky's song. Let me see if I've got any more updates or things to share. Again, probably the biggest thing that's happened with me lately was getting the car. That's been really nice. And, it's more than just a car. There's a few things I got to handle first, but at some point I'm going to start getting out. I think I'm going to join a martial arts class soon, and primarily just to get out and connect with people, start meeting people. So looking forward to being a part of that. And then what else? Kind of working on some stuff that, I don't know, it's maybe you guys feel the same way. You know how sometimes in life, okay, people will be like, how you been? What you been up to? And sort of the expected response is just work. Like, that's to summarize. And maybe that's what people mean, or maybe they're just trying to summarize, because if people really just went into detail about everything they've been up to, it's kind of hard to explain. And so that's kind of how I feel, is I've been doing a lot, but at the same time, there isn't like a nice short way to describe what I've been up to. I've been working on some things, I've been just working on some things that involve my future and my goals for the future, my career endeavors, things like that. I've been chipping away at those things. So I've been doing it, and I can go into all the details and all the specs about that. But again, a lot of it is learning for me. It's not really that much exciting to report. It's stuff I'm excited about, but it's not really, it's kind of just the early stages of it, so it's not like a huge part to share about. But there we go. Hannah is back. Hey, Hannah. We were just asking about you. Becky was curious if you'd seen Breaking Benjamin live before, if you'd been to any of their shows. I think we recall that you are somewhat of a fan of Breaking Benjamin. And Hannah, if you'd like to make a request, feel free to do so. We might hop into another song in a moment here, but if there's one you'd like to hear. So far, we've done A Mirror That Was Broken. We did Ascension, Hard Goodbyes, and we did a song called Hurt. And that's been it so far. And then Becky requested my newest song, Pull the Trigger. I think I'm going to do that in a little bit here. But if there's a song you would like to hear, feel free to request it. You can find them in the description here on YouTube. Let's see. There's one thing, I don't know if I've told you guys about this yet, but something coming up this month that I'm looking forward to. There's a music venue in my town, and I've been there before. I've been to one show before. But they're having an emo karaoke night. And that sounds right up my alley. It's like I have to attend that. Emo karaoke. We're talking about, it's karaoke with music specifically targeting bands that I grew up with in high school. It's like, if ever there's a chance to meet people that are probably around my age and have similar interests to me, that's probably the place to go. So emo karaoke it is. So that's happening not this weekend, but next weekend. So on the 11th. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm planning to get out there, and I'm going to sing a song. I've got two songs So one thing that's kind of cool, I think there's actually a live band. I think that's what they do. It's a band, and they're basically a cover band, but instead of just doing covers, they play the songs and they let people come up and sing whatever song they request. You know, people request a song, they come up and they sing karaoke to it. So they've got a playlist showing what songs they know, and I was looking through them. So I'm either, if you guys are curious, here's what I'm planning. My go-to song is going to be Smile in Your Sleep by Silverstein. That's the one that I feel most confident in. And I'm typing that in the chat. Silverstein. There we go. I might have misspelled their last name. You know, E before I before E, something like that. But Smile in Your Sleep, that's kind of my go-to. That one I feel pretty good about, and I feel like I could do a good job performing that. Plus, I think that qualifies as emo kind of nicely. This one, I don't know if this one really counts as emo, but it's on the set list and it's a great song. But the other option of mine would be One Step Closer by Linkin Park. One Step Closer by Linkin Park. That's one that, again, I feel kind of confident that I could do a good job singing that one. So those are kind of the two that I've sort of picked out. And you kind of got to have two, because hopefully nobody picks one of my songs. And there's maybe some other, there's like a few others that if I had to fall back on, I could. But those are kind of the two I'm banking on. And we'll see how it goes. I'm looking forward to it, hoping to have fun, hoping it'll be a good, memorable experience and maybe make a few friends out of it. Let's see here, catching up with the chat. Yeah, Hannah, how was your dinner? Daniel saying, I work a lot. It takes up a lot of my life, around 50 hours a week. That's why it's so difficult for me to record and make videos. But I always try to enjoy time off when not working. Well, absolutely. Yeah, if you're going to work that much and then you've got time off, you definitely want to make the most of your time off. So I hope so. I hope every time you're off work, it's a great balance. I hope it is something that you enjoy. And let's see here. Becky was saying, I have not seen Breaking Benjamin live yet, but I am a bit of a fan. Currently been playing Sooner or Later a lot. Yeah, that's a good song. That's one of my favorites, says Becky. Had a wrap with rice. Yeah, I live in Florida. I am an oversight, just like a Paris. Why am I so pathetic? I know you won't forget it. Yeah, that's a good song. And then, yes, Silverstein is classic. Yep, they're a favorite of mine. Love that album, Discovering the Waterfront. So that's probably the one I'm hoping to rock out to. Also, I want to request Brothers to the End. Nice Quincy Kane classic. All right, coming right up. We'll do Brothers to the End in just a bit here. Do you see a lot of alligators? Surprisingly, no. I can count on one hand how many I've seen in person. Yeah, that is a little surprising, because you'd think they'd be around. You'd think they'd be everywhere. But. All right, we've got a request for Brothers to the End from Hannah. Going to go ahead and play that. Also, here's your courtesy reminder to stay hydrated. But like I said, I've got emo karaoke coming up. I'm looking forward to that. What about you all? Y'all got any plans for this month? Any Halloween parties or live shows or events? Anything you're looking forward to? Any movies coming out you're planning to go see? Let me know if you guys have anything you're looking forward to this month. Hannah, this one goes out to you. I hope you like it. This is Brothers to the End.
unbreakable, bonded by our passion, undeniable, brothers till the very end. Just a bunch of outcasts, only meant for slaughter. But we will overcome this if we can band together. Look into my eyes, grab a hold of my hand. Remember who we are, brothers till the very end. Just me. And now it's just me. Twisted fragment, shattered pieces.
Go. Again, that was Brothers to the End. That was requested by Hannah. Hannah, thank you for your request. I hope you enjoyed the song. For anyone just tuning in, I think we still got some time. We can probably do a few more songs. Yep, so if you'd like to make a request, again, you can find my songs in the description here on YouTube. So far, we've done A Mirror That Was Broken, Hard Goodbyes, Hurt, Ascension, there we go, and then we just did Brothers to the End, and in a little bit, we're going to do Pull the Trigger. But if you'd like to make a request and you have not made one yet, feel free to do so. All you got to do is type it in the chat. And if you're not super familiar with my catalog of music, no worries. Just pick a title that sounds interesting. I'll play it for you, and we'll find out if you like it or not. All right, catching up with the chat here. So sounds like, yeah, Hannah is not in a very alligator-infested area. Jack is planning to go see Black Phone 2. My friend Chris surprisingly wants to see it. Well, that'll be fun to go see it with somebody. I'd heard the first one was good, but I haven't seen the first one yet. So I'll have to, if there's some way I can get around to seeing that, now would be the season to do it. Now's a good time to watch some scary ones. Becky's saying, I'd love to go to Florida someday, but I'm no good at dealing with the heat or tornadoes. We don't deal with as many tornadoes as we do hurricanes, but yeah, that heat can really beat you up if you're not used to it. I do recall Florida being a bit hot, but I've had some great experiences there. I had a friend and I went with his family. We went on vacation to Florida a couple times. Had some great trips there. I remember taking a train there. I live in Virginia, so we took a train from Virginia to Florida. That was a lot of fun. Probably one of my favorite ways to travel, actually. And then we had like a 5-day pass for the amusement parks there. And there were 2 amusement parks. It was Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure. So one day we would spend at one park, and then the next day we'd spend at the other, and just alternate day after day. And then we'd hang out at the hotel and go swimming, eat out at restaurants. It was a great time. It was a great trip. So we had a lot of fun there. Had some friends who lived in Florida for a while. I've still got a friend who lives down there. I went there to visit once. There was a time I was considering going to a school down there. There's a school called Full Sail University. Maybe some of you are familiar with it. It's kind of an arts school, so it's for filmmaking and music and that kind of stuff. And I was looking at it for a while, mainly for filmmaking. I was wondering if that would be my avenue to having a career in filmmaking. And unfortunately, schools like that, I think the best thing you get from them, I think they really just educate you, and they maybe give you some networking opportunities and some connections, but they're not necessarily a guarantee that you're going to have a career in that field, or even be doing necessarily what you want. So for me, it wasn't the right call for me, but it was fun getting down there. It was fun getting to see the school and the site of it, and they took us on a tour and that kind of thing, so that was cool. And it was fun just spending time with my friend who was living down there at the time and getting to hang out with him for a bit. So yeah, I quite enjoy Florida. I've been there a few times. Let's see here. Lost my spot. Always wondered. Okay, so hopefully I'm not reading any spoilers. Yeah, so I try not to read too much about that. But it sounds like the first Black Phone didn't have a very happy ending, which, to be fair, I don't know how many scary movies do have a happy ending. Some do. Some have. That's actually probably my favorite kind of scary movie ending is the end, or is it, you know? Like when it looks like things have resolved, but then it kind of, like the camera sort of pans and shows like one last little hint that it might not be over yet, and then it cuts to black. You know, that's probably the best way to end a film. So it kind of feel that fun ghost story, kind of like you think it's all over, but there's sort of a hint that maybe there's still more to this story, and it kind of leaves you like with that slight unresolved sort of feel. I don't mind tragedies, so, you know, sometimes that can be a good ending too. Most of the time, scary movies, yeah, kind of have that, yeah, things sort of end up, I don't know, you know, you usually it is kind of a sad ending of some sort. Thank you for the applause, Jack. Thanks for playing that one. Killed it as always. Well, thank you, Hannah. Glad you enjoyed it. Silas says, sounded good. Thank you, Silas. Yeah, Silas saying, I forgot you lived in England for a moment. Yep, been in England. Becky's been there her whole life. Cool, I didn't know you could get a train from Virginia to Florida. You're so lucky. Yeah, I think along the East Coast, I think there's I mean, I don't know where all you can take a train to, but what I like about traveling by train rather than plane is technically faster, but you're a bit more restricted. Like you have to sit and stuff. The nice thing about a train is you're on it and you can get up and walk around. They usually have, the one we were on at least, it had like a lounge cart area. They would even play movies on it, so that was fun. I think that's the best thing too, is like you have access to your phone and device, and it's pretty easy to occupy yourself on a train. So even if it's technically a longer trip, it's still faster than driving. It's a lot more convenient. That's the thing. It's a more convenient way to travel. So train was pretty fun. I was also able to take a train to New York when I went with my brother-in-law and my nephew about a year and a half ago. We went to New York by train, and that was a lot of fun. I've been checking out Full Sail. Might enroll to get my degree to become an A&R manager, but not sure just yet. Let's see here. And now, what exactly is an A&R manager? You might have to inform me on that. Unless I Google it real quick. What is an A&R manager? Because I don't know if the R stands, I don't know if it's audio and recording or if it's assistant and something else. What is an A&R? Artists and repertoire managers negotiate with and sign new artists for record labels and music publishers. Gotcha. Yeah, I wouldn't know anything about that in particular. If you're wanting to get into the main music industry, as in you want to be involved with record labels and that kind of thing, then probably going through a school would be a good thing to consider. It all depends on what you want. So I would just say, like, whatever you're wanting to do as a career, just research that as much as possible and try to find what are the routes to getting there, what are the things you can do, and try to decide for yourself what's the best course of action. Again, for me, I just want to be a songwriter. I just want to produce songs, and the truth be told, school wasn't necessary for that. So for me, yeah, school wasn't the right choice, but something like that, it might be. I don't know if there's a way to do that without needing a degree, like if you have to have a degree to be able to do something like that. I'm not totally sure. So I would just say that's the main thing. Like, because I was the same way where, or I don't want to say the same way as you. My mindset was school sometimes seems like a free pass. Like, okay, if I'm willing to just pay the money for school, that'll be the free pass to the career. But unfortunately, that's just not how it works. So I just want to make sure you understand that. Don't think that just because you pay for the tuition and just because you go through the schooling and just because you survive the schooling means that you're going to get the career. Sometimes that's not always how it does. Again, there are still benefits. I'm not saying it's a total, complete waste, but I'm just saying don't be banking on that. Make sure it's exactly what you want. Because that's kind of what I was looking for. When I was looking into it for filmmaking, I basically wanted to know, if I go to school here, will I have a job making movies? Like, will I be the director and will I be making my movies? And the truth is no. Probably what would have happened, I probably would just be a production assistant helping someone else make their movies. And maybe I'd get some connections or some leeway. But the funny thing is, like, you don't have to spend $50,000 on school to do that. Like, again, some of you know that I was just recently on a movie shoot with a low budget production, but that could be my gateway right there. Like, if I wanted to pursue a career in film, I could hook up with the people there and be a production assistant and also act like as an extra and just help out as many ways as I could and give them my contact information for whenever they have projects. And then I could look into local town, connect with local filmmakers, and basically work my way up, as well as making my own projects and building an audience online. Like, there's so much you can do these days to sort of build up your resume and make connections. And it's really more about what you can do than your credentials. It's, your credentials are what work you've actually done, not necessarily what degrees you have, at least for what I want to do, for making movies and music and kind of stuff. Like, no one cares if I went to school or not. So that's all I would say about that. But being like a manager and having to be involved in record labels and that kind of thing, that might be kind of a different avenue. So all I can say is just make sure you educate as much as you can about what that job entails, what it actually takes, other people, how they got there, if you can figure that out, and come up with a game plan. But I'm definitely rooting for you, whatever you decide to do. Definitely hoping the best for you. I know we were talking about my album on Discord yesterday. I replied to you earlier today, but if you could remind me by November, I want to talk to you about something regarding it. I guess I could make note of that. It might be helpful for both of us to write that down. I don't know if it has to be November specifically, but I can make a note in November to message you something regarding your album. So I'll write a little note. Yeah, I've actually got a note about like upcoming dates and events and things like that. I'll put November, message Hannah about her album. And cool. Definitely excited for your upcoming projects. Daniel saying the trains around Switzerland are awesome. Some of the carriages have restaurants. Yeah, that kind of thing sounds nice. Getting to just sort of sit and eat. There were definitely diner. Well, the one we ate had restaurants also. I remember when we went to Florida, it was a long trip, and I think we had to ride through the night because I remember having dinner. I think we had breakfast and dinner on the train or something like that. But it was quite nice. I don't know if it was as fancy as what they might have over in Switzerland, but it was definitely nice. Same thing in Italy. Yep. Yeah, it probably is a really big train if it's got all that. Are you going to be visiting any haunted castles when you go to Scotland? That'd be pretty cool. Technically, I don't have to get a degree for A&R if I'm able to figure out a way to break into the industry, but if I get my music business degree, I might be able to start my own label someday. Is there a reason you need a degree to start a label? I would think all you need is money. Money and then artists to sign, and you could just start an independent label and over time kind of grow it. I will say this. So as the only thing I know about starting labels, there's a band called Periphery. Maybe you're familiar with Periphery. They used to be signed by a label called Sumerian Records, but then Periphery is a very entrepreneurial band. Like they do so many things themselves. And after a while, they cut ties with the label and they started their own record label called 3 Dot Recordings. And I think for a while, they were the only band on the label. It was just their own label, but they're now starting to recognize acts and starting to collaborate with other artists and other acts. So they started their own record label, and they're not big, but they've got their own record label, and they're doing it. And so it's definitely possible. Now, again, they had a good foothold in the music career because they built up such an audience. And again, they're very entrepreneurial because they make a lot of money from, like, one of them has a drum software company. They record drums and then they sell drum samples so that people can use them for their own recording projects. I'm pretty sure they make a lot of money doing that. One of them has a guitar company, guitar pedals, strings, that kind of stuff. And they've just got different businesses like that collectively help them make a lot of money, and I think give them the flexibility where they're like, we don't really need a label for us. We've got the audience. They're going to keep an eye on us. The label's just someone that's taking a cut of our share, and we don't necessarily need that. And then for them to start their own label, they're able to kind of pick and choose the artists that they want to highlight and start and kind of getting a piece of that pie, helping somebody start developing their own audience, but also having some involvement in that and being able to benefit from that as well. So that could be the case. But again, I don't know. But again, you always have to, you want to make comparisons and kind of learn, but there's, what's the word I'm looking for? Obviously, you want to look at the leverage that you have. Like Periphery, they're an established band. They had the power to do that, or they had the resources to do that. For someone just starting off who wants to have your own record label someday, again, I mean, part of me thinks you could start, you could very much start small. Like I could see that being done if that's your interest of just working with other artists. In a weird way, it might not feel like super official, but you could easily just have a name and just say, hey, I'd like to, you could have a social media page and you could have a YouTube channel promoting other artists, and, you could have Spotify playlists and, kind of have some way to link them. And there might not be much money at first, but eventually it could sort of create this network. And if you could find ways, that'd be the thing, like how do you monetize that? How do you, what services do you provide that the artist would be paying you, or what can you provide for the artist that would benefit them, but then you get a share of what they make from that. So I think that's really cool that you want to do that, though. So that's the only reason I'm even saying anything. I'm kind of like brainstorming here myself because I think that's pretty exciting stuff, Hannah. Jack saying I have to head out, but thanks for a great stream. I hope everyone has a great weekend. Jack, always appreciate you tuning in. Yeah, we'll get into some more music. Sorry, I kind of was getting to a brainstorming sesh there. More like a safety net plan than a dead set career path. Yep, nothing wrong with that. I will say, I mean, I can say for myself, I've definitely had some business shifts as well. Like, you can make money as a songwriter, but it's very hard. And so it's not that you shouldn't do it, but it almost is better to have another vehicle for income and let that be the thing that supports your music career. So that's actually something that I'm kind of messing with myself. Here, I'm going to give you a name real quick, Hannah. I don't know if I've given you this name before, but if you are wondering about taking things that you're passionate about and being able to make a career out of it and finding some way to make a good passive income career, something that's pretty manageable but it's going to generate a lot of income for you and equip you. The guy to look at is Graham Cochran right there. Definitely look him up. He teaches business, specifically online business. Hey, we got John. John, I'll get Waking Up played for you in just a moment here. But definitely look up Graham Cochran, and there might be some interesting stuff that you can learn there, and maybe that'll be in line with some of what you're looking for. And that might be kind of the leverage you're looking for to equip you to do all these different avenues and that you'd like to do. Y'all have a good night. You too, Daniel. Have to head out. Got to do a jam session with some coworkers. Hey, I hope that goes well. Hope you have fun doing that. Let's see here. Yeah, we'll get back into some music here. Oh, Silas requested Love's Not Fair, so there will be a little time. All right, we'll do Waking Up for John, and then we'll do Love's Not Fair, and then we'll probably end with Pull the Trigger. I have a feeling that's how it's going to go. Yes, I've heard of Periphery, and I'm a fan of Sumerian Records. I didn't know the band started their own label. That is incredible. Thanks for all of that. I really appreciate the input and advice. Yeah, my pleasure. I would say even look into that. Do a little research on Periphery, and I bet if you go to their Wikipedia page, you could see some information about their association with Sumerian Records and then branching out and starting their own record, and maybe a little bit of Googling, and you can learn a little bit more about how they did that. But I do hope that helps. I'm rooting for you. Silas, I don't know if you saw, but Becky did reply. She likes quite a few of those bands that you mentioned to her earlier. It's weird. I saw Quincy's post about a half a minute before he mentioned him. Maybe some of you might be behind or something. Maybe you're behind, Becky, or something. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. Okay, John, give me a thumbs up if you're out there, and I'm going to play Waking Up. And if anyone else has made a request and I haven't played it yet, please let me know. I don't want to miss out on anyone. I think we're going to do Waking Up, and I actually didn't see Love's Not Fair from Silas, but if you requested that one, Silas, I can certainly play that one for you. And then we've got Pull the Trigger. I think we're going to do that one in just a moment here. But first, we're going to do, if John's out there, John, we're going to do Waking Up for you. Just give me a thumbs up. There we go. All right. Here we go. I've got the backing track set up. John, this one goes out to you. This is Waking Up.
It's too much effort to pull away the covers that hold me down and won't let go. It smothers me, the weight of this anxiety pressing me into my pillow. Blissful sleep, chasing lies and counting sheep, It sure is easy, but not for me. So here I am, with all I have. I'm waking up, I'm facing what's in front of me. I won't back down, I can't stop now. I'm waking up, so I can start to dream. I toss and turn, and tick by tock the hours burn, pleading for this night to end. Part of me begging to go back to sleep. It sure is easy, but not for me. So here I am, with all I have. I'm waking up, I'm facing what's in front of me. I won't back down, I can't stop now. I'm waking up, so I can start to dream you're not worthless. You have purpose. Wake up, see ya. Time to dream again. So here I am, with all I have. I'm waking up, I'm facing what's in front of me. I won't back down, I can't stop now. I'm waking up, so I can start to dream. So here I am, with all I have. I'm waking up, I'm facing what's in front of me. I won't back down, I can't stop now. I'm waking up, so I can start to dream.
Thank you. Again, that was Waking Up. That was requested by John. John, thank you for your request. I hope you enjoyed the song. All right, I think we're probably going to do a couple more here, and then we'll put a wrap on all of this. But thank you all for your requests. Thank you for the applause, John. Much appreciated. All right, Silas had a request for Love's Not Fair. I think we might do that one. Yeah, Silas has a tendency to get out and run. I'm not running now. Yeah, my pleasure. Glad you enjoyed it. All right. Yeah, I think we're going to do a little more music. Again, I got a little chatty, but I do enjoy chatting with all of you, and always good to hear from each and every one of you. So I think we're going to do Love's Not Fair, and then we'll finish things up with Pull the Trigger. Pull the Trigger is my newest song. I'm hoping to release that in the next couple weeks here. So definitely excited for all of you to hear the final version, when I release it. But as for right now, I just have a backing track to play along with it. You guys can kind of get an idea of what the song sounds like. We'll get into Love's Not Fair. Not sure I have much else to really share right now. Yeah, Leo and Fab will have to catch it another time. But Becky, I always appreciate you being considerate and wanting to share my music so others can hear it. I definitely appreciate that. At some point, the song will be released, so when it is out and available, definitely be sure to share it so other people can hear it. All right. Let's see here. Looking for Love's Not Fair. Silas, go ahead and give me a thumbs up if you're out there. And I'm going to play this one for you. I think we're going to do 2 more. Love's Not Fair, and then Pull the Trigger, and then we'll put a wrap on all of this. Courtesy reminder for all of you to stay hydrated out there. All right. And then, yeah, I think I've kind of shared pretty much the newest with me is just finally getting a car. So that's nice. I needed a new vehicle for a while. So definitely glad to have that taken care of. That's a huge blessing. And other than that, I've got emo karaoke coming up. I'm excited for that. And have some other things, but things I don't really... Sometimes you got plans, and it's stuff you're excited about, but it's just too soon to kind of share it. So, and plus, you don't know if anything's going to come of it anyway. So that's kind of what's happening in my life. Things I'm excited about, but still waiting to see if they actually emerge into anything. All right. If Silas doesn't give a thumbs up in a moment here, we might go on to Pull the Trigger. Might play that song instead. Maybe Silas went for a run. Maybe he did. All right. Well, let me get the other track set up. So this is my newest song. Again, not released yet, but should be coming out pretty soon. This one is called Pull the Trigger. The new Keanu movie looks good. Is that the one where he's Gabriel, the angel? I could see that going either way, because it looks like a fun premise and a fun concept, but sometimes when movies have kind of, when they're, what's the word? I don't even know that biblical's the right word, but when they're adjacent, when they're referencing things that refer to God or that kind of thing, it's sometimes kind of a tiptoe territory. It's like depending how they handle it, they could either handle it really well and make a really well-made movie, or they could make something that could come off a little blasphemous. And I'm hoping it's the former. I'm hoping it is a good movie because conceptually it does look like a fun premise. But Keanu himself, he's pretty much great in just about anything he's in. All right. Becky, this one goes out to you. Again, this is my newest song coming out soon. Hope you all enjoy it. I think I'm getting a little better at performing it live, but again, even though I write the songs, I still got to practice them myself, so this is a new one for me. Still kind of learning it, still trying to get good at performing it. But here we go. Becky, this one goes out to you. This is Pull the Trigger. Thought you died a long time ago. I had left you in a 6-foot hole. But from time to time in my memory, I'll receive a visit from your ghost. I can tell you're just a dream. Right away you place your lips on me, but it's never what it seems. When I wake up to reality, I wish I'd had the nerve to say it. I had the shot and didn't take it. Now it's too late.
time I'll just pull the trigger. I have tried so hard to forget, but I guess you can't outrun regret. It was only for a moment, but the scene keeps playing in my head. It was only when you wrapped your arms around my side, and I knew the time was right, but instead I only said goodbye. I wish I'd had the nerve to say it. I had the shot and didn't take it. Now it's too late. A moment doesn't wait forever. So next time I'll just pull the trigger. There were times when I would hate myself, but you always left me with a smile. And times when I was sure you felt the same kind of feelings that I felt. You gave me every chance to share, but I kept my secrets to myself. And now you're no longer here, and I'll never know what might happen. I wish I'd had the nerve to say it. I had the shot and didn't take it. Now it's too late. A moment doesn't wait forever. So next time I'll just pull the trigger. Next time I'll just pull the trigger.
Thank you. Again, that is my newest song, not released yet, but coming very soon. That was requested by Becky. Becky, thank you for your request. Hope you enjoyed the song. That one was pretty good, but sometimes I get so focused on the guitar part that I forget the lyrics, and then I start focusing on the lyrics, and I forget the guitar parts. So there's still a few parts I got to work on with that. But I'll get there. Eventually, I'll get like a perfect playthrough. All right. If Silas is back, we might do one more, but it is getting a little late over here, so I might have to put a wrap on this soon. If Silas is out there, I'll do Love's Not Fair, but that might be it. Let's see here. Yeah, Good Fortune. I like Supernatural, so I'm sure I'll enjoy the movie. Hannah, is this your first time hearing it? Here's our highlighted lyric. Oh, thank you, John. John said that was great. Well, thank you. Yep, that's the new one. A little bit of practice needed, but it's coming along. It's coming along. Again, that one should be coming out in the next couple weeks or so. Here's our highlighted lyric from Becky. I can tell you're just a dream by the way you place your lips on me, but it's never what it seems when I wake up to reality. I'll share with you guys a little bit what that lyric is referencing. Have you ever had a dream, and while you're dreaming, it feels real, but then you wake up and you realize none of it happened? So that is something I've experienced a lot. It's happened multiple times. For some reason, I don't know why. I think it was last year. Um, Again, I'm not going to get too deep into this, but the person this song is based off of, they were an important part of my life, but I did move on. I did get on with my life, and there was a period of time where I didn't think much of them. Not, I just had my mind on other things. I was focused on other things. I wasn't thinking anything about them. And then I started having these dreams about them, like just randomly. And I was like, why am I having dreams? And I really didn't like the dreams because they felt real. And there were so many times, like almost every dream, that's probably the most frustrating thing. So you guys know this is a song about kind of recognizing an opportunity to maybe speak up and share how I was feeling. And I didn't do that. And I will often have dreams of seeing this person, and I'll be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it's you. And usually in the dream, it's me trying to say the thing I wanted to say. I've even had dreams where I've confessed, like, hey, I shared kind of what I was feeling, or I was going to share, and then I end up waking up and I realize, like, oh my gosh, it wasn't real. It's so frustrating. It's actually kind of cruel. It's just I don't know. It's frustrating when it happens. So that's kind of what that refers to. It's sort of certain dreams where it feels real in the moment, and then you wake up and it's like, oh, it didn't happen. Thank you for the applause, Becky. Much appreciated. Thank you, Silas. Bravo, Quincy. Another Slayer to set list. Becky's saying, yes, that is my first time hearing it. It's been a while since I've been in one of the streams, so I've missed quite a lot. I don't mind if you forget lyrics. I just appreciate that you can sing. Well, thank you. Squirrel Killer, I'm new. Please play another. Sure, I can play another one. Don't stop. I just got here. We'll play one more. I think, hey, Silas, give me a thumbs up if you're still out there. He had requested a song called Love's Not Fair, so I'll play that one. But Squirrel Killer, appreciate you tuning in. Let me know, how's your week been? Anything fun or eventful happened lately, or is there anything coming up that you're looking forward to? Definitely appreciate you tuning in. We'll do one more, and then I think we're probably going to put a wrap on things. Let's see here. I once dreamt there was a huge spider on my face, and then I woke up and there was a huge spider on my pillow. That's kind of freaky. I actually don't mind spiders too much. Like, yeah, if they're near you, they're a little freaky, but they eat all the other bugs, so and they usually kind of mind their own business in the corner of the room, so I don't mind spiders too much. But yes, if they're like that close to your face, it would be a little scary. I often dream about friends I haven't seen in many years. Yeah, that's always a little tough. Hey, Annie, appreciate you tuning in. I think we're going to play another song here. Birthday is Sunday. Awesome. Well, happy birthday, Squirrel Killer. I don't know if you want to share how old you're turning this coming birthday, or if you want to keep that a secret, but I hope you have a good birthday. I don't know if you have any particular plans, if you've got friends or family to celebrate with, or anything like that, if you're going anywhere or throwing a party, or if it's just going to be kind of a small gathering, or if you're just going to celebrate yourself. I'm not sure, but either way, I hope it's a good birthday, and I hope you do something special for yourself. Silas saying, can you still play Love's Not Fair, if not someone else? Yeah, I think that's the one I was going to play. I'm not scared of spiders. I just don't want them on my face. I think that's fair. I would agree with that. And Silas, you might have gotten the wrong birthday. Not Becky. It's Squirrel Killer. Squirrel Killer just hopped into the chat, and their birthday is coming on Sunday. So, awesome stuff. All right. I'm going to play Love's Not Fair. And I have a feeling this might be the last one. All right. This is kind of a softer song. And I got to get my guitar tuned for it. Just give me just a second here. And let me switch my tone. There we go. All right. This was requested by Silas. This one is called Love's Not Fair. Silas, hope you like it. This one goes out to you.
Staring at my own reflection through shattered bits of glass, showing me the perfect picture of who I really am. But when you look at me, you never turn away, kneeling next to me and picking up the pieces. Why do you care? Knowing I'm undeserving of the love that you have chosen to share. It's just not fair. I am such a useless failure, falling to the ground. Every effort that I muster is never good enough. But when you look at me, standing next to me and holding out your hand, why do you care? Knowing I'm undeserving of the love that you have chosen to share. It's just not fair. If I take just one moment away from my self-loathing, then maybe I would notice that I'm not meant to be broken. If I take just one moment away from my self-loathing, then maybe I would notice that I'm not meant to be broken. So stop beating up myself. You took the punishment yourself, and it's just foolish pride to think that I could ever hurt myself enough to cover what I've done. I could cut myself dry, and it still would never be enough. It makes no sense at all. Why do you care? I know I'm undeserving of the love that you have chosen to share. It's just not fair. But love isn't fair. In spite of all I am, you chose to die for me, and that isn't fair. But love's not fair.
All right, there we go. Again, that one is called Love's Not Fair. That was requested by Silas. Silas, thanks for the request. I hope you enjoyed the song. All right, we're going to catch up with the chat, but I do have a feeling that's going to be a wrap for this stream. But we'll catch up with the chat real quick, and then we will go from there. Let's see here. Yep, happy birthday to Squirrel Killer. Old, getting old now. Hey, nothing wrong. That's something to celebrate. That's something to celebrate. Another life on this earth. I hope you do have a happy birthday. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. Yeah, there's no good alternative to getting old, though. Yep. Yeah, I think that's something to celebrate. Thanks for the hard eyes, Becky. I'm sharing my hot dog with the cat since Daniel had to leave. I'm sure the cat will appreciate that. Love it so much. Thanks, Silas. Glad you enjoyed it. Really good, Quincy. Thank you, Becky. This song helped show me that I have the ability to write songs. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad that it encouraged you and helped you in that way, and I'm definitely excited to hear more songs come from you as well, Silas. So, well, everyone, that is going to be it for this stream. I've got a link to share with you all. Again, you can find it pinned at the top, but if you enjoy what I do here, if you enjoy my music and you just want to show some support, there's a few different things through that link there. There's a virtual tip jar. I certainly appreciate anything that you're willing to contribute. If you want to get yourself a piece of merch, I've got t-shirts and hats available. Fall's coming. Colder weather is going to be coming soon, so if you want to get yourself a hoodie or a beanie, I've got those items available in the merch store. My music is available to download for free if you want to. It's on my Bandcamp. Again, you can find a link in there. But if you want to show some support, you can also pay whatever price you want for my music. And I think Bandcamp Friday's coming up. I don't know if it's tomorrow, but Bandcamp Friday's a good time to support artists because Bandcamp usually takes a share of any revenue that they make. But on Bandcamp Friday, they don't take anything. So lastly, if you want to be up to date, again, I've got a new song, Pull the Trigger, coming out soon. If you want to stay up to date whenever I release new music and that kind of thing, one last thing through that link, there is a section at the bottom where you can sign up for my email list, and that way you stay notified whenever I release new songs and projects and things of that sort. So guys, that is going to be it. I have enjoyed hanging out with all of you, chatting with you all. If you're getting some food, if you're getting some dinner, I hope you have a good dinner. If you've got celebrations, birthdays coming up, I hope you have good birthdays. Whatever plans or things are happening, I hope they go well. Definitely looking forward to the October season. Some fun things to celebrate here. So thank you all for hanging out. I hope you have a wonderful evening, morning, afternoon, night, whatever time it is, wherever you are in the world. Until next time.